Okay, for the first time in a long time, I have pressed a button for this campaign.
Yay! Excellent.
I'm sure everything will be fine. I definitely did not plan this encounter for more players than we have.
Of course not. You would never do a thing like that, ever.
Just ignore, if you're looking at the map for tonight's session, ignore the GIF or the GIF, and the space shark, and the red dragon. The Tarask being flown in by a Zeppelin is canon, though.
Concerning.
Why don't I have any second level spells prepared?
I just read your last comment in Discord, and you say too many. Some would say not enough.
Well, I mean, if a hypothetical sorcerer warlock had levels in fighter, you could theoretically get up to 12.
Especially with my house rule about how you can cast spells. But with that said, hello. And welcome.
Eldritch Blast's a cantrip. That's rules as written, you can do that.
So now I'm thinking about how to abuse it, because that'd be following game mechanics.
Sorry.
8 fireballs. There's probably a way to do it with my house rules. But let's not think about that. Let's think about Welcome to Pack Tactics Season 4. This is a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign set on a different world from all my other campaigns because I had to not go the easy route. Also, the kobolds have become too powerful, so I shipwrecked them. That is not something that most DMs get to say. The kobolds have become too powerful. And those DMs who cannot say that are sadly deprived. This is so much more fun. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. Joining me tonight are a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. Ellie, this week, your Halloween name almost threw me off.
Huzzah!
My pause between saying Ellie and Io was because I read Ellie and said, wait, no, that's not right. No, wait, it was. Or is it?
Ellie.
See, my dyslexic brain just puts it back the right way, and I didn't know it was different. You know?
I like having my Halloween name where I just put, after the word Crash, I just put the Smiling DM.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Or the Smiling Middle School Teacher. Both of them were kind of off. Anyway, I am not going to ask you what happened last week because, well...
It's been a while.
Actually, last week was a lot of, ow. But never mind about that. I also got to walk around a harvest festival, which led to the ow. Because walking around after surgery. Yay! But I got pictures, it was fun. Yes. Well, it's... whatever. That's not what tonight's session is about. Previously on Pack Tactics. Now let's spend 15 minutes reviewing this, and then have 5 minutes of action, and then 15 minutes talking about what's happening next session.
No.
The 5 minutes will just be one character screaming. It'll be Navix. Spoiler, it's Navix. Murder! Oh, speaking of which, going into the recap. So, you encountered a sentient robot who referred to their kind as cobots. They're all lizard or dragon based in some way, shape, or form so far as the aesthetics are concerned, but they're not organic. And they're pretty sure that kobolds got their name from cobots because the build is kind of similar. I mean, the cobot that you encountered looked somewhat like a winged kobold. It makes total sense because cobots have been around forever and kobolds are brand new.
For some value of brand new.
Yes. However, having met that particular cobot, whose name, by the way, is 8135-00427834, just rolls off the tongue. They did let you know that they were working on building a new administrator to control the various cobots because they could kind of do it, but not the same level administrator could do. That requires more processing power. So they're building a new admin to take care of that. The old admin got crushed under a lot of rocks along with the rest of their home because there was an impact directly above them, possibly from a crashed ship. So you got coordinates. No, it's pretty. I'm pretty sure it's not your fault unless you were arming a space laser. Was any of you arming a space laser? You have to tell me if you have. It's the law.
No, those
I
are
don't
only
have-
on the moon.
Uh-huh.
That's probably canon. At this point, I have to check my notes, but it's probably canon. Well, actually,
The moon back home.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And
Mhm.
Chroma's on that moon. So if there wasn't a space laser, there probably is now.
And there were space lasers. They're called moonbeams.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
Yes,
Most of those
the
were
moonbeams.
destroyed.
I can fix them. Or rebuild them. With better features.
Look, this one's got an LED screen. And it connects to the Wi-Fi. It's an Internet of Things device.
We have
Yes.
good security.
The S in IoT stands for security. That's how you know it's safe.
There is no S in IoT.
I said what I said.
You did. And you were correct.
So we're going to do a bit of a time skip because Chris unfortunately had many schedule conflicts, and this is very late at night, the time that we play, if you happen to live in Scotland. So he unfortunately has left our campaign for now. There is the possibility he'll return at some point. He did that for the previous one. So, it might happen again. And he'll make a new character, and we'll have him playing both of them during the finale at the same time. And that'll always be fun. That's never happened before. Oh, it's happened several times.
It has, yeah.
More than one campaign, including the first one. And the
Yep.
second one, which kind of joined in with the first. Never mind. Well, so here's what's going to happen. When you leave the cave system, coming out through what apparently was at some point possibly a giant dragonborn shaped robot that had all the metal taken out of it, so it's just the ceramic armor fused together. That was the entrance to the cave system anyway. Half buried in the swamp. Ebenezer declares that he's thinking he's just going to hang out in the swamp. He's a druid? You said he was a druid, right? He's still pretty
Yeah.
sure he's a wizard or sorcerer or something.
He's
but
a nature wizard.
that sounds about right. Yeah. Anyway, this seems like a cool place. I think I'll set up shop. No pesky humans around. Maury just kind of looks at him when he says that.
Then
Doesn't
I
say
wish
anything.
you luck.
And Navix declares that he's thinking he's going to hang around this area too, for part of the same reason that Ebenezer's going to.
Pesky humans. Except
Yeah.
Ebenezer.
Well, there might have been a comment about looking for stragglers, but that may or may not have been said under breath. It might have been said very loud. This is Navix we're talking about.
I mean, it will hopefully at least keep the Mephits from coming out of the wood burned from the haunted forest swamp trees. Haunted swamp forest trees. Whatever.
Indeed. It is probably to everyone's benefit if strange, terrifying, cryptid shapeshifters kill those who attempt to desecrate the haunted grove, forest, swamp.
Ebenezer would respond, but he's already distracted. Navix is already off, and there may or may not be a fire. Maury just blinks at Longkep when Longkep says this and says, "Okay, I like the results of this, but I'm disturbed by the fact that I like the results of this."
Oh,
Sometime.
I was disturbing again.
I know that's your default, and it's fine. It really, actually, you'd probably get along with several members of my family. But hey, not to change the topic, but we were looking for an impact crater.
Uh-huh. We should go find one.
Okay.
Might be more than one.
Well, if my choices are staying here in the swamp, or going with you off on an adventure, or going back to my shop, which I should really get to,
It's up to you.
my rent's paid till the end of the month. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Someone who actually knows what's going on. It's important to have somebody who knows what's going on when you don't know what's going on or who people are or things.
Yes, I hope we find someone like that.
Just going
Okay.
to give her a look.
Where
Remember-
do we start?
Maury is pretty sure that she's having a nervous breakdown from overwork, and this is all
And that
some
we're all
very
just
elaborate
fictional.
hallucination.
All right, where do we start looking for an impact site?
As luck would have it, Somebody wrote down coordinates.
Uh-huh.
I did indeed.
And we're going to fast travel there because I can't be bothered to do 5 weeks of campaigning. Wait.
Oh, God, that's a lot.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will, there's a wonderful musical number and there's a montage of you exploring through forests and going over hills and stuff. And it looks like a Ralph Bakshi animation. That was a Lord of the Rings animation reference, but definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
It's great.
rotoscoping, perhaps a bit too much rotoscoping, but never mind. There was a budget crunch. We had to get it out by a certain time.
We do the Hobbit version with I forget who that studio was, but the Hobbit animated one.
That was
Oh,
pretty
dude.
good. I think that was also Bakshi. I think he did
Yeah,
that
but-
one too, but he had more money.
It did have the rotoscope version. No,
Well-
the rotoscope version wasn't Bakshi. They changed it
Oh,
out.
Bakshi did do rotoscope for
Yeah.
when he did the animations for Lord of the Rings.
Right. For one of them. For the last one, they went back to normal.
They had more money. So you are nearing the crest of a hill where the coordinates say it's around here somewhere, but you haven't seen it yet. However, everyone give me a perception check.
Oh, boy.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
This is not sight-based.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not a passive percent. Is it passive?
Utashi has there's a little D next to perception, so let's just see
Well,
what happens.
Yeah, that's
That's
because it's
the-
sunlight.
Yeah, the
Oh,
kobold.
sunlight. Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
And I don't
Right.
think we've been doing that.
I'm trying to remember what I roll. I've been doing too many other games.
My assumption is if you're adventuring during the day, you all have very large floppy hats and or sunglasses.
Sure, yeah.
But you do not
What
wear
do
the
I roll for
sunglasses at
that?
night.
I have a hood.
Just click on the.
The button. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
I also
perception.
don't have sunlight sensitivity, but I have a hood in order to fit in.
I have a 13 plus 1 for a 14.
Okay.
15.
Sori and Deza definitely notice this. Utashi
I
and
should stop
Longcap.
rolling on D&D Beyond.
Oh,
Utashi and Longcap are oblivious.
Perhaps Longcap should not be wearing a hood to fit in.
And for Mori, I should not be rolling persuasion.
She's desperately trying to convince herself it's all a dream.
Mori's like,
Deception.
Oh,
well, Mori's like, if someone's out there, you have to come out. I ollie ollie oxen free.
if you're hiding, you have to tell me.
It's the law. That's right. Maury noticed it too with the 16. So basically, the ground is rumbling slightly. It's not a rumble like something is stepping hard. It's like there's a long rumble that's like 5 or 6 seconds, and then it pauses. And then it rumbles again for maybe 9 to 10 seconds and pauses. The amount of time the rumble happens for each portion varies. But it's like a much longer rumble than you would expect if something large was walking. And it's too frequent for anyone to think it's an earthquake.
What about the time between the rumblings?
It's usually very, very short.
Okay, but it varies.
It does vary. There was one point where if you're hanging out here on the other side of this hill, on the side of the hill you're on, rather, for any length of time, there's one point where it pauses long enough that you start to think, oh, it stopped, and then it starts again.
It's like when the cat is yelling outside the door.
Mom, Mom, Mom. Then you open the door and they just stare at you.
No, he jumps in.
Or they run. My cat runs.
Dickens jumps in. Anyway,
Anyway,
I wonder if the other manager is trying to dig its way out.
your understanding when you were talking to the Cobot artificer is that while they are able to move around, their primary purpose and design usually has them sit in a subterranean stream or river for cooling purposes and just think really hard. They're not built for digging.
And yet, just because they're not built for it doesn't mean it wouldn't be trying. If it's less squished than they thought.
Fair. This is a theory you can go with. But anyway, I have painted the picture that you have until you collect more information by doing a thing.
We should probably try to sneak up and
See what's up there?
And I missed all of that information because my brain decided to fuzz out.
Oh.
Been
the
there and
Age
done that.
Dragons ate it.
Yes.
Vibration
Basically-
things, we need to get more info.
Yes.
Yes.
It's likely happening on the other side of this hill that you're on.
And it is not an earthquake.
Probably.
If it is, then this earthquake's been taking its fiber because it's very regular.
I drop to all fours and use mold earth to sink the ground below me to the depth of 1 long cap.
Are you going to make a trench ahead of yourself and just sort of...
Yes.
So,
I am minded of the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
okay, that imagery is now not going to escape me. But also, I'm thinking about lawn decorations I've seen where it's just like 3 pieces, where it's the head of an alligator, part of the body of the alligator, and the tail of the alligator. You just sit down on the grass and it looks like there's an alligator swimming through your lawn.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
is, in
that, but
fact.
long cap.
Yes.
I am going to alligator in the ground.
Long cap, give me another perception check.
Oh,
Is there,
Actually, no, give me insight. Insight works better for this.
while that's happening, is there a direction in which the rumbling feels stronger?
Other side of the hill.
Okay.
Long cap is less able to infer what's going on than long cap is able to see things. And that's saying something because long cap is now partially buried.
With that roll, I am going to, quote, sneak, unquote, up to the top of the hill and or around the hill, get close to the putative source of the rumbling.
I have seen lower rolls.
clearly Longcap had issues making insight checks because Longcap is currently attempting to make a stealth check.
While long cap hums the traditional tune of being stealthy.
Considering Long Cap's
possibly-
usual...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sounds more like Long Cap.
Ellie, I really like the GIF that you shared because, of course, I do. Because Kronk is wonderful and must be protected with our lives. But also, my nephew is still learning how to say many words because he's not yet 2. And right now, he refers to sharks as dadunts.
The dunce.
Oh.
He has more than one stuffed shark because his aunt really likes sharks. So, of course, she buys sharks for him. But every shark is a dadunt.
It's a dunce. Oh.
Okay, so we have a 9 and a 6 for stealth. So here's what you see as you...
2 successes, 2 threats, and a despair as well.
Oh.
Yes. I can go with those rolls if you prefer.
No, we don't want the
Just say yes, just to find out what would happen.
Do it sometime when you get a triumph instead of a despair, though.
So you peek up over the ridge of this hill, which puts you onto the map at the south. And what you see is an earth elemental doing circles inside one of many impact craters. Unfortunately, the impact craters appear to be, well, they're craters. They're mostly depressions in the earth, which can be kind of depressing if you were expecting to find a spaceship, because they're empty. Except for the earth elemental and, grabbing another icon here.
Hopefully not the Trask.
No, the Trask is already in play. I told you.
What's the role that
Airlifting.
what's its role in the play?
It's the chorus. The Greek chorus. There were supposed to be others, but the Trask is a unique creature. So,
Yeah.
They paired it with humans. They were a
Eat the
wonderful snack.
humans.
The Tarask being a unique creature makes the planet of Tarasks much more weird.
Yes, which is not currently canon anymore. It was canon in 2nd edition.
Assume a perfectly spherical Tarask in a vacuum, and it's not weird at all.
Except for the fact that the Tarask is now perfectly spherical. which I'm assuming happens because the blimp that was carrying it somewhere was bitten by the Tarrasque and deflated entirely into the Tarrasque.
Well, I was imagining Planet of Tarrasque. Tarrasques are a unique creature. Planet of Tarrasque.
Oh my gosh, that could work. Tiny little beings living on the surface of the Tarrasque, worshipping it.
Not. I mean, I'm pretty sure that fleas don't worship the cat.
I didn't
just
say they
feed
were
off
fleas.
it.
Well, some of the beings have developed industry. They are mining the Tarrasque. There are others that are protesting this because the Tarrasque gives them life.
Yeah, but the Tarrasque is basically unkillable, so I feel like they have a stronger ability to mine it for resources.
Well, yes, that's what the industrialists say. But there has been some soup thrown at some of their famous paintings.
Oh, no. Ugh.
That's a current event reference.
Yeah.
And most of my backlog of recordings is gone, so this might still, unfortunately, be time. Well, we had a lot of games we didn't play for various reasons, and I had surgery.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, things happen, and that's okay.
Sorry, we're getting off track.
We are getting off track. The Earth Elemental is swimming over through the ground to this guy over here at the side of the crater, and it reaches out a pseudopod, like arm thing, and drops something into the priest's hand, and then he puts that in a bag, and then the Earth Elemental goes swimming again.
Huh.
There was a glint of light off of it, as if it was reflective.
Are these fresh craters?
It's hard to tell, because if they've been sending this Earth Elemental through the other craters as well, all the ground would be freshly turned up.
That's true.
Probably digging through the impact sites for everything they can get.
What do they want?
Our metal?
We could speak with them.
Maybe.
Ask Maury to speak with them, because everyone seems to think that we're weird dogs when we don't have any fur at all.
You said there was a priest, Crash.
Yes.
That little human guy.
Maury, do you recognize what sort of religious order that person hails from?
It occurs to me that I haven't made an icon for Maury either.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you need an icon for Maury. Let's see. You could use that one.
That'll work for now. This is definitely not what Maury looks like in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, well,
okay, sure.
Maury has what you can refer to as a monitor tan. Also, monitors don't exist on this world. There were some. They crashed on your ship.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've also got this one, but that's kind of more obviously a Romulan.
Well, I'm just going with this one for now. We just need to know that's Maury. And she takes a look and says, well, based on the robe design, I'd say they're probably a Servient.
This is Servient, too.
Oh, so my order, the order I'm from at least, kind of left that, but we've had this discussion before. I mean, it feels like it was months ago, but never mind. You know how we tend to the dead and live in swamps for the most part? Servients organize cities and live in cities.
So he's a city priest and you were a country priest.
If by country you mean swamp, yes.
Swamps?
Go ahead.
No, you.
If he's from the city, why is he in a swamp?
You're not in a swamp. You're in an open plain.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a hilly plain, but it's a plain.
He is still not in a city.
It's still not a city, though.
I can hear you, you know.
Hi.
I wave.
Wave.
I am going to pop out of the ground up to my full height and also wave.
He rolled a 17 on his perception check, and the lowest of you rolled a 6 on your stealth. So, yes, this whole conversation has been taking place. I like how Sori's just peeking out from behind everyone else off the map.
Yeah, a little bit.
But waving.
He kind of half waves when he does this. The elemental waves in the same way.
That's a little disturbing, but okay.
Wave at the elemental.
Wave at the elemental. Maybe he'll give it shinies. It seems to be what he's doing. She's doing, it's doing, they're doing, whatever.
Yeah,
How do you pro down an elemental?
They're they don't really have genders, so they're not even sentient for the most. Well, some of them are. This one isn't.
Huh. Why?
They come in various shapes and sizes and abilities. This one's low enough on the ladder that it can be controlled. Why am I having this conversation with lizard people?
We're not lizard people, we're kobolds.
Right.
Well, you did say you wanted to not be called weird dogs.
True, yeah.
Closer. Lizard is closer.
Why would people call you dogs?
close.
You don't even have fur.
Exactly.
Oh,
If Chris was here, you'd already be rolling for initiative.
we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I miss him. And look, if you want, just imagine off in the distance, you can hear the faint cry of murder on the wind. Just enough that you know, you're pretty sure you heard it. It could have been your mind playing tricks on you, but it's far enough away that unless someone gave him a ballista. Oh wait, no, you left him with Ebenezer and Cobots.
Have you been scavenging from these craters? Long.
Kind of the last of it, but yeah.
Could we ask you about what you have found?
Well, and he opens a bag and looks through, and I wrote down what he's found so far. I just need to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got a bunch of teeth, 7 gold pieces. This thing, he holds up a green wafer thing that looks like, well, you would recognize it as a circuit board because you're kobolds from the moon, so that's something similar. But he doesn't know what it is. You got this thing, and just found a monocle.
Interesting.
May we have the monocle and the teeth? We are from the vehicle that impacted here and searching for survivors, and those items could perhaps assist us in finding or eventually resurrecting those who were with us.
So you came here with the thing that we found here?
Maybe?
Yes. It was destroyed.
Well, there were some big pieces, but my job is to put everything that wasn't packed up already in this bag and take it back to High Temple. So,
can we please have the teeth? They're the only things we have left.
As the priest is saying this, he's holding out the bag like he's expecting you to jump in.
What's in the bag? Peer. Sora is going to come over and peer inside the bag, just in case it is a bag of teleportation. Oh, they get
Longcap has rolled a 22 Arcana check. Is that to figure out what the bag is?
I do not believe we would survive such a journey, or at least most of my comrades would not, and while I could last longer, this would be on the order of minutes rather than hours. Perhaps if you wish us to accompany you, we could do this in person after we have accomplished what we can of our mission here.
I don't really have the authority to help other people with their missions. I kind of have my own, and it's to bring everything back to High Temple. I understand what you mean about the bag, though. That really does only hold 10 minutes of air. So,
you do not have to assist us.
I could have Rocky carry you.
It has a name?
I tend to call all the elementals I summon Rocky.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable.
I tried naming one Balboa once because I wanted variety, and it just didn't sound right.
It's not a snake. It can't be a boa.
Well, it didn't play out well for that one anyway. It fell down some stairs and shattered.
Oh.
No, it didn't shatter. The stairs shattered.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's about half an hour from here by Elemental.
If we find more teeth, can I hold on to the teeth and then we all go to the temple?
I was actually kind of wrapping up here, and quite frankly, finding survivors seems like a really big deal, so I should probably take you in.
You are arresting us? I believe that is what that colloquialism refers to.
But I'd be actually taking you to High Temple. We'd be going into the temple.
Oh, not the same then.
I don't really think I understand you. Do you understand them? And he looks over at Mori, and Mori goes, I'm assuming this is a fever dream, so no, but I'm just going with it.
Forgive me, this is not my first language and idioms are difficult.
The best part is the idiom was absolutely right, but you're talking to people from another planet.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you are from another planet.
Well, yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Ellie keeps getting disconnected.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we haven't been having the Wi-Fi problems.
I am going to continue to glare at the wiring in Ellie's walls.
From where you are. Mm-hmm.
Though it might not be that. It turns out, even though my parents live in another state, we have the same ISP now. because my ISP was bought by a company and then bought by another company. And now it's the same company my parents use. But their Wi-Fi and mine is not the same.
Whose is worse?
Theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I know because of parent-teacher conferences.
Oh.
Yeah. We've been having a conversation for a while now. I did not get to have a conversation that long during parent-teacher conferences.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh well. Welcome back, Ellie.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue to glare at whatever hardware is failing. Or software. Or both. I don't know.
If it happens again, I'm going to reboot my router.
Okay. So the priest motions at Rocky, and Rocky sort of like sinks down a little bit. There's no limbs. It's just sort of like a lump in the crater. And the sides start to taper up so that it's more of a bowl shape on top, except for stairs on the side.
Wait.
Sori has already hopped in.
Okay.
So I think this is really cool.
Sit over here on his shoulder a little bit, maybe.
The elemental no longer looks anything like the image that you see. So far as you know, there are no shoulders anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a bowl.
I will sit on the edge of the bowl.
And Mori just kind of looks at the priest, side-eyeing him, and goes, so you're not arresting them? I'm not. I'm a priest. We don't arrest people.
That's for paladins?
Some of them I get. I don't know. I'm new.
I am unfamiliar with law enforcement in this area.
There kind of isn't any unless you make a ruckus.
Ah.
Please don't make a ruckus.
We'll try. But we're kobolds, so...
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Us.
Okay.
We chorus. Stealthy high
Small,
five.
usually small, reptilian sapient. Hello, I am Longcap.
Sorry.
You're kind of tall.
Long Cap is long. Tall Cap is a different person who didn't come.
I am tall enough that frequently in kobold tunnels I must be long instead.
Oh, you're subterranean.
Uh-huh.
By the way, the Rocky has already started in motion, and you are going at speed down the road.
Okay.
Imagine, if you will, Toph earthbending to go really fast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is our priest in here too, I assume?
Yes.
Everybody got in? Yay!
You're all riding. The turns are a bit more exciting than you want them to be.
To summarize for Deza, because Ellie kept cutting out, we have been talking to the priest. We told him things, and there was a slight amount of confusion, and now he is not arresting us, but is in fact bringing us back to do what Longcap at least is presuming to be diplomacy.
We sure hope.
Okie dokie.
And also the elemental is now a fast bull.
A chariot!
It's more like a self-driving car.
Oh. Okay.
With all that entails. The bad and the bad.
Yep.
Wait. That still tracks.
Just as long as it doesn't run over any pedestrians that we care about.
I appreciate that sentence went on for a bit longer than I think it needed to be.
That's why I said it.
Every now and then, there's just like a little bump on the road, and what was that? Oh, okay.
Oops.
Probably a rock.
Mr. Priest, what is your name? We cannot just call you priest if we are going to a temple because there will be lots of priests.
Well, yeah, there are a lot there. My name's Aegeus.
Aegeus.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure.
Ageus, by the way.
That's what I thought.
Should I be concerned that that name has been found to be funny? I like the silence. Anytime I ask a leading question like that and I get dead silence.
I'm trying to look it up, but I'm not getting anywhere.
It means protector.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have lists of names for the various cultures. So if you put me on the spot and say, what's that person's name? I have a list. I can pick a name off the list. You're not going to get me going, my name is Bob. But that other guy's name is Bob. He's Bob the Third. I'm Bob the Fourth. But you don't look anything like, we're not related.
Just gets a name and a number in order of birth.
No, I'm the fourth in line of Bobs in my family. He's the third in line of Bobs in his family.
That actually
Nameless.
makes sense.
They're always far too small.
Yeah, most kobold clans only have 20 names.
This is why we have long cap and tall cap and smallest cap.
And the wizard who trained Long Cap was, in fact, named Old Cap.
I love everything about this. But, we've been playing it's starting to get close to an hour. And this seems like a good transition point where we can start up again when we get to High Temple. And this might give Ellie a chance to possibly restart her router. So what do you say we take a short break?
Reasonable.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to press a button. Okay, so we are unpaused. A router has been reset, but also we come to the conclusion that, we're
You lost
tired.
all your notes.
Yeah, you're going to a city where I didn't lose all my notes. I lost all my notes from June, since June. So that does include the map for the city. I thought I still had that one. No, but I do not have a map for High Temple. So I'm going to have to. I don't have to remake it. I could have done Theater of the Mind for the rest of this, but I do need to remake something. But also, we're tired. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone, for playing. My name has been Crash, and I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ely, Eo, Jen. Who wants to plug it in?
Eo's mom writes books.
At elizabeth-mccoy.com. And also, in character, we aren't supposed to ask about the snails.
It's like Fight Club.
Does this mean that if we don't talk about it, we'll get snails?
You just see... dang, what did I name?
Aegis.
Thank you. You just see Aegis shudder. So the conversation that happened before I pressed the record button is Aegis was saying, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. It's weirder than the snail incident. Don't ask about the snail incident. And then there was stereo as more than one person asked if it was tasty.
Were they tasty?
Tasty.
There may have been a high five.
Yep.
Which prevented you from noticing the first time he shuddered.
Speaking of books.
Oh, all right. Okay, so my website is Book of Jen at bookofjen.net. I haven't had time to put much on it lately, but I'm working on longer form stuff behind the scenes. So other than a couple of Diablo Immortal videos, that's all I got right now on that site. In addition to that, I'm the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, where it's about the Diablo games and books and lore and whatever's going on with the company and any other cool stuff that Diablo content creators make, things like that. You can find it at shatteredsoulstone.com. We have a delayed episode this time, but by the time you hear this, it'll have been up. Other than that, I do a lot of stuff on Twitch with Restless Barbarian Gaming, and that's got vampire games and superhero games and a hunter game and some one-offs, and so you can check that out on Twitch. And then the videos also go to Restless Barbarian Gaming on YouTube. I think that's everything.
That has to be the first time in years that I've heard a train in the background of your audio.
Yes. One of the windows is open, so.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's Rocky.
There you go. Sure.
Valid.
Incorporate the sound. Uh-huh.
Speaking of Patreons.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have a Patreon, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't plug it because
It's wireless charging.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, mine is still old-fashioned. But we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/CogwheelGaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. So until next time, this is Crash saying, why do people call you weird dogs anyway? That doesn't make any sense at all.
I know, right?
We don't know why they do.
I mean, technically, if you were dogs, that would be pretty weird. So I get that modifier, but I don't know. You walk on 2 legs, and you've got opposable thumbs.
In fairness, that would make us
pretty weird dogs, too.
You could be weird meerkats.
Pretty weird dogs.
Do meerkats have scales?
Scales?
You would be weird meerkats.
Weird meerkats.
Yes.
Are they as tall as we are?
Well, I could give you information, but I'd have to bring up the snail incident.
Again, weird.
Yeah.
Don't want to know about these snails. I don't need to know about the incident, just snails.
We're definitely not weird snails.
No.
Right.
At some point, I'm going to have to run a one-shot that's just called the snail incident. And it'll be strange enough that everyone will understand why it's no longer talked about.
The incident, parentheses, snail incident.
For a certain value of snails. Okay, good night, everybody.
Good.